Welcome to Mystic Moons. We're going to go off into another psychic investigation, a psychic political investigation, and see about Pakistan. Or should I pronounce it Pakistan? It's pronounced a little differently, right? It's just not Pakistan. That is supposed to be Anyway, semantics or pronunciation aside, there's a rumor that Pakistan is there developing an intercontinental ballistic missile, a type of phallic-shaped weaponry that is primarily used for nuclear bomb. And they're building it to specifically reach the U.S. for the U.S. Now, I'm just kind of wondering, why would they do this now, and why haven't they done it before? For me, for one thing, I mean, without even pulling, it sort of seems like looking at the state of Pakistan and their history, politicians behind it, and sort of their whole burqa wearing, male superiority, oh, I love my sons type of, how should I say, sentiment. Wouldn't they have been building that bomb way before now? One would think. But anyway, apparently they're building it now. Okay. And we're here to go and see if there's any truth or validity to that. Let's see. As I said, I find that very hard to believe, though, considering that they're doing it now, as in today, considering that, you could just look at the politicians that they have been having ever since its inception. I mean, Pakistan was initially formed by separation of India, and then they separated further. East Pakistan became Bangladesh. And typically it's been under rule by military. I'm not going to call them warlords, because I think that's a little too gracious a term. But just by military guys that like to go and kill things, right? Hello, Tim. So yeah, that's sort of my only skepticism, is that they're building it now when you look at the history of who's been running it, and a mix of academics and so forth, but just purely men operating with brute strength. And also two men in this very rigid 4 women equal 1 man type of thing. And so, or was it 2 women equal 1 man? I'm not sure. But anyway, you get the idea. Hello, everybody. Why, thank you. So yeah, that's my only question before going into that, is just, are they doing it now? But anyway, let's go and see. Is Pakistan right now building, and that's in the present tense, an intercontinental missile typically used to, or typically built for, the delivery of a nuclear weapon for the U.S., where I happen to reside? Obviously, I'm not residing in Pakistan. Let's go and see. I have Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, bottom of a deck energy, 9 of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to say, yeah. You know what I'm going to say, too, with this Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Pentacles, King of Wands, 10 of Swords? What I'm going to say here is that not only is Pakistan, I'm going to say, first of all, the question is yes. Or the answer to the question is yes. Pakistan right now is building an intercontinental or intercontinental missiles. Could be singular, could be plural. They are building one now. I'm going to say they are, but I'm also going to say with Nine of Pentacles, you don't get a Nine of Pentacles energy off of nothing. Like, you just don't get one paycheck and all of a sudden, boom, you're Nine of Pentacles. You just don't have one muffin and boom, you're like the muffin man. You don't go and have one flower and you have a garden. So my point is with Nine of Pentacles, this signifies wealth, accumulated wealth. I'm going to say that Pakistan is definitely building an intercontinental missile right now, but I'm also going to say that they have other significant, maybe other significant phallic-shaped ballistic style weapons at their disposal. Their weapon arsenal, is that the right way you'd call that? But their arsenal is, well, I think arsenal signifies weapons. I'm not clear on my military terms or weaponry terms, so you'll have to bear with me as I learn that myself. But anyway, I do say that their arsenal is already pretty well stocked. King of Wands, already well stocked, and they've been preparing for a while. Ten of Swords, just waiting for the moment to go. So that's what I say here. I say Pakistan has an interesting array of weaponry to go and deploy against anyone, and seeing how they like to go and portray themselves or imagine themselves as, I don't know quite how to say this diplomatically, but almost like folk heroes. Have you ever watched those old Chinese dramas where they have the acolyte go out and he's like a simple village boy and he's just going around in slippers and he has that long braid in the back of his head or on the top of his head, and he goes around and he helps people, but he's very like open-minded and not tied into anything, going to fight for justice. You know, they like to portray themselves in that sort of way, but we know that that's not the motivation there. They try and operate from a position, or try to use the excuse of force. Like, oh, we're going to go and stand up for the little guy. Yeah, I don't know if a country that operates under military might can stand up ever for the little guy, regardless of where that country is. But anyway, that's essentially what we have. The answer is yes. So I'm not going to go and dive anything more into that. I have other questions to explore. But if you appreciated my time in doing this video, do give me a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think right now Pakistan is developing an intercontinental ballistic missile? Do you think that this is the only one that they've been developing for nuclear delivery and the only one that they've been developing specifically for the U.S.? That's another question too I'd like to hear your thoughts on. You can write in the comments and let me know. But that's what I see. And also too, I'm not really pulling on the energy of Pakistan, the state as a whole, but just looking at the history and just feeling the history. As I said, this is a country that formed and was ruled primarily by people who were not scholars, did not come from scholarly backgrounds, did not appreciate the beauty of life. They appreciated very simple things: food on the table that filled the belly, a wife to go and procreate with, and a roof over their head. I mean, in other words, peasants. What we're dealing with are people who never strived for, as a whole, never strived for cultural greatness. And they That's why they love military rule, military honor, military ranks so much. Anyway, but I'm sure the people of the UK who have been dealing with some of those fresh imports can probably go and share a story or two about that. That's what I see. Until next time, everybody. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. And Chillington, or is that how you say your name? Well, hello, Chill. Well, you can see from the title and hear from the reading. Yeah, I'll be jumping on to something else. In the meantime, let's see how this reading ages. Bye-bye.